Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope you all are doing well. This is your host Nadim Khan Shanto and welcome to our show Textile Talk powered by Amader Textile. Today in this show we are going to learn a lot about cotton fibers and its dyeing process with reactive dyes. And here is our guest Nadim Khan Shanto, a student of Textile Engineering Department, Daffodil International University. So hello sir, at the very beginning I would like to know from you sir a brief idea about cotton fiber and reactive dyes. Cotton is actually known as the king of fiber, and it is such a fiber that has attained a very prestigious position amongst the cash crops all over the world. And its cultivation is also increasing day by day in the subcontinent region, especially for its matchless beauty and comfort. Cotton is the purest cellulosic fiber that contains up to 98% alpha cellulose and less content of lignin. Reactive dyes, on the other hand, is an anionic dye that contains reactive groups in it. The reactive groups reacts with the terminal hydroxyl group or amino group of the fibers. The reactive dyes has good color fastness properties and it requires less time and temperature during dyeing process. So these are about cotton fiber and reactive dyes very shortly. Sir, we all know that cotton fiber is generally dyed with reactive dyes, but what's the theme behind it, how this happens? There are different types of dyes in the market, but why the cotton fiber is always dyed with reactive dyes? Is there any reason behind it? There is a history behind it. Earlier, especially before 1884, the cellulosic fibers like cotton or any other thing are dyed using modern dyes, indigo dyes or sometimes bed dyes. But uses of these type of dyes are sometimes troublesome and very expensive. And this is the reason why the tendency of dyeing cotton fiber using reactive dyes came. The reactive dyes has a very fair price, very good color fastness properties and excellent color values. And because of having all these characteristics, the dyeing of cotton fiber using reactive dyes became very popular commercially after 1884. Thirdly, we all want to know from you the mechanism of this dyeing. So how the dyeing processes happen, so what's the theme behind it? The dyeing mechanism of cotton fiber can be illustrated by three simple steps. The first one is dye exertion. Dye exertion refers to the penetration of dye molecules to the fibers. It is considered as the first stage of cotton dyeing. Whenever the cotton fiber is impregnated in the dye liquor, at that time a negative charge is generated in the outer surface of the fibers. As the reactive dye itself is an anionic dye, therefore two negative charges repulses each other. As a result, the entire dyeing process is hampered. An unexpected reaction, hydrolysis, is also occurred here. To fix this issue, common salt sodium chloride is used as an electrolyte. The sodium plus ion of the common salt reacts with generated negative charges of the fiber and make it neutralized. As a consequence, the dye absorption became easier. Our second step is dye fixation. The absorbed dye molecules get fixed to the fibers through the creation of covalent bond reacting with terminal amino group or hydroxyl groups. To make this reaction properly happen, appropriate pH is maintained by adding adequate alkali. Generally, sodium hydroxide, sodium carbonate or sometimes sodium bicarbonate are used as an alkali based on the dye brands and dyeing temperature. Our third step is dye fixation. all the dye molecules don't get fixed to the fabrics properly. Rather, some of them remains unfixed in the fiber surface. They are removed by special treatment, and after that they are hot washed, cold washed and soap solution washed to remove the unfixed dyes. So this is the mechanism of dyeing 100% cotton fiber with reactive dyes. Finally, I would like to know the dyeing process of cotton fiber with reactive dyes. So if you tell us something about it, sir. The dyeing of cotton fibers using reactive dyes can be illustrated through several stages. Stage 1. In this stage, the dyeing auxiliaries along with waters are added in the dye stove and kept for 5 minutes. After this, the cotton to be dyed and the dyes are added to the dye bath and kept for another 10 minutes. So this is the stage 1. In stage 2, salt is added in the dye bath. This stage is considered as the exertion period of dyeing. In this stage, a temperature of 40 to 50 degrees Celsius is maintained for 20 to 30 minutes, and this makes the exertion of dyeing properly happened. Stage 3 is considered as the fixation period of dyeing. In this stage, alkali is added in the dye bath. A temperature 50 to 60 degrees Celsius is maintained for 40 to 60 minutes that makes the fixation properly happened. Finally, the stage 4. This stage refers to the after treatment of cotton material. All the dye molecules don't get fixed to the fibers. Rather, some of them remains in the fiber surface. To remove these unfixed dyes, some steps are taken. Initially, the dyed cottons are treated with 1% stock solution of acetic acid for 10 minutes at 60 degrees Celsius temperature to make it neutralize. It is then treated with 1 gram per liter soap solution to remove the unfixed dyes. Thirdly, the dyed materials are hot washed and cold washed respectively. Finally, the material is dyed with a dryer. So this is how the dyeing of 100% cotton fiber with reactive dyes happens. Okay, I think our viewers have properly understand the entire process of dyeing 100% cotton fibers with reactive dyes. Still, if you have any question guys, then feel free to ask in the comment section below. And here comes the end of our show. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.